started using meth when I was 12. I used meth all through high school. I started selling meth, and next thing you know, I was going to jail all the time. It seems to me that jail was my only periods of sobriety. 90 days here, 6 months there, ordered to rehab there. I didn't really want what the court had to offer, so I continued using meth until I had nowhere to go. I really didn't know what my future had in store for me. I thought I was going to be locked up for the rest of my life. I burned all my bridges. I stabbed everybody in the back. My last chance of life was to try to find help for myself. I needed somewhere to go that would show me there's another way.
I was not able to hold down a job because of my addiction to heroin. I tried, but I never got past more than a few months. The only way I thought I could be successful and be able to make a decent living wage was to, sell drugs or do some kind of crime to come up, so to speak. I called my mom to let her know that I was gonna go into detox, and the minute my sister picked up the phone, she heard my voice. Right when she heard my voice, she didn't say anything, she just hung up the phone. And I remember at that moment just feeling something I've never felt before, because my family had always been there. When everyone else shut the door, they had been there, and at this point, they weren't there anymore. I can't even describe it. It felt horrible. I could still remember it left, like I always had a hole in my heart, but it left this big gaping wound that I knew I caused. I knew I was at fault for that.
Due to my addiction and my constant want to have fun, I wasn't able to hold down a job. And when I would get a good run in a body shop, I would either get laid off or move on. I was a single child, so my family pretty much was always there for me. I really never had any family problems. They never turned their back on me, but they were always concerned for my well-being, and I was just too concerned with having fun and just wanting to have a good time. My on and off, as far as work goes, I seemed to be okay with it up until a point when I realized that I wanted to be a better man and I wanted to change my life.
When I first got to the mission, I was very angry. I knew I had to be there, but I didn't want to be there.
When I got to the mission, I was completely broken. I mean, I had nobody, my family wouldn't talk to me, I had nobody at all. So I went there, I was completely lost and broken. I had never been in an environment like that. I remember walking in and just thinking like, wow, am I gonna be able to even stick through this place?
I came to the mission because I wanted a better life and I wanted to build a relationship with God. I was saved in about 2009, but I wasn't walking in faith. I didn't have a righteous relationship with God. I knew a little bit, but I didn't know enough. At about 2010, I realized that I wanted to change my life, but I just didn't know how to do it. I had somehow stumbled into an awesome wife. She's a God-loving woman, and that gave me the drive to actually make the steps into changing my life.
When I got into the kitchen and Chris made me a black coat, everything that I was going to work on one-on-one, on each issue, got crammed into one. I tried to deal with things my own way when it didn't work. I was scared. I was intimidated by the crowds and the amount of food that I had to cook. And in my mind, I figured if I can cook meth, I can cook food. It can't be that hard.
My first job in the kitchen, when I first got into the program, I organized the walk-in. That was my job and my responsibility. I liked it, but it was overwhelming, and I did it for a long time. And to be honest with you, I wanted out of that kitchen. A staff member named Richard Parker pulled me into the walk-in one day when I was having a really bad day, and I wanted to leave. And he explained to me the purpose behind the kitchen and the Redwood Gospel Mission. He, at that point, changed my perspective, how I see things. I didn't see it as a job anymore. I saw it as why we did it and how important it was. And he told me to try cooking. I never thought that I would be able to cook, let alone for 300 people.
When I first went into the kitchen, I was wondering if I could do it on such a mass production, but I had some good leaders training me, and I had just some good advice coming towards me, and I had some positive motivation. The skills that I learned in the Black Coat program, it developed my communication skills, my leadership skills. It brought out my self-esteem in order for me to become a better man and to be able to walk upright and build a relationship with God.
Cooking 300 meals a day in my mind was definitely a challenge. Come to find out, it was the most fulfilling challenge I ever did in my life. Cooking for everybody in the house and the homeless is very humbling. It's one of the most humbling experiences I ever did. I found that being in the kitchen showed me that I can do something. I am worth something. I am capable of doing something and being productive. I know that being in the kitchen made me a better person.
When I was given the opportunity to cook for the mission, that gave me purpose. My whole life I felt hopeless, and I felt like I wasn't able to do anything purposeful. And that gave me hope, and that gave me confidence that someone else believed in me when I never believed in myself.
Cooking for the homeless population, and as well as the other members of the New Life program, was instrumental in changing my life, because I was shown the love of God. At that point, I was shown what comfort can do to somebody else that was in need or was less fortunate at the time.
When I come back to the mission and volunteer, I like to work with the new guys. I like to work with the newcomers that don't know what I know and haven't seen what I've seen and what the mission does for people. It was very intimidating to go out and find a job, but the mission gave me confidence to go find a job. You know, it gave me my self-confidence back.
It's a true blessing to be able to come back to the Redwood Gospel Mission and instruct the guys in the Black Coat program, the certification program, and as well as be able to offer my experience and my hope and my strength. It's a path that I can't really describe the feeling. It goes back to the feeling that everything is going to be okay. I believe that I was meant for this line of work. I believe that I was led here by God, and I call it part of my benefits package, being able to see guys develop and excel in the Black Coat program.
Because it gave me purpose and gave me responsibility, the Black Coat program totally shaped where I am today. Being in that program and giving that opportunity to do the things that I did there and be responsible for the kitchen and managing people and making sure things got done in a timely manner totally shaped me for the position I'm in today and the direction I want to go in my future. My aspirations are to open a food truck one day. And if that doesn't work out, just learning the things I've learned in the kitchen and being able to cook and create is a true blessing.